Good morning. It's fight week. Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G3. Let me bring up what people aren't really talking about with this matchup, okay? When it comes to this fight, everyone's bringing up the age. The age. And rightfully so. Let me tell you what people aren't bringing up. Canelo Alvarez is finally going to be the bigger man. That's right. When you think of Canelo and all his fights, he's always giving up the size advantage. He's always at a huge disadvantage. You think of Callum Smith. You think of Caleb Plant. You think of Kovalev. You think of Bivol. You think of Danny Jacobs. He's always the little guy, okay? You think of Triple G versus Canelo 1 and 2, it was Canelo who was coming up. You had the sense that Triple G was the bigger guy. In this sense, Canelo Alvarez been at 168 for a while, campaigned at light heavyweight. Canelo Alvarez is now the bigger guy, absorbing punches from bigger men, okay? As far as skill set, he hasn't gotten that much better since Triple G2. But when it comes to durability and delivering heavy, thudding shots of his own, he may be a bigger puncher than he was. And a more durable fighter, okay? When you think of Triple G and you think of older fighters, the last thing to go is your power, okay? But physically, I know you guys are gonna, last thing to go is your heart or will or whatever, but you know what I mean. And honestly, prime for prime, when you think of Triple G and Canelo, Triple G was probably the more skillful fighter. Probably. It's debatable. Prime for prime, Triple G was, when you think of his jab, his pivots, especially his jab, his feints, where he delivered his punches, what he did on the inside, how he worked on the outside. Triple G was very deceptively skilled. The guy was extremely skilled. We know Canelo Alvarez is a very skilled fighter as well. But Triple G may have been a more skillful fighter, but now, he doesn't have the reflexes and stuff like that. So he's going to be thudding with Canelo Alvarez. Now, the jab hasn't gone anywhere. He's going to be thudding with Canelo Alvarez more in that mid-range, close range. And Canelo Alvarez doesn't have to do so much to find Triple G the way he had to do a lot of weaving and stuff like that. The high guard blocking and all those things. Against the likes of Danny Jacobs to get in on the inside. Callum Smith tried to make Bivol close the gap with Bivol by inviting him into Canelo so he can kind of shorten the gap by being invited and then shortening the gap, all those things. He's not going to have to do so much of that with Triple G. And here's where size really going to really count. Triple G, he's growing a bit of a Thurman body. You look at him against Sergey Derevchenko, he cracked that body. When you look at even Murata cracked that body. Canelo Alvarez is going to go to the body very, very well. And with his power now, with him being a bigger fighter, I think he's going to win those exchanges. But the last thing to go is Triple G's power. I'm going to say this too, to end things. It would be nice if Triple G were to win, though, right? Because, let me tell you why. Not anything against Canelo fans or anything like that. I'm just talking about as a boxing fan. He's the older guy, right? He was robbed the first fight, right? Injustice. The second fight was just excellent. They were both just going in with Triple G being the boxer and Canelo being the slugger. But when you think of like the robbery, the first fight, and he's the old guy, look like he's on his way out, to become undisputed at 168, get his revenge, that'd be a wonderful story. But Canelo Alvarez coming off of a loss, that's some of the best stuff that can happen to champions. And I said this before, everybody needs their asses whipped. You see AJ now. Like I said, him against Tyson Fury is the closest fight now that he went to school with Usyk. And he's learned something from a very master fighter twice. This is not going to be a shell shock going up against Tyson Gypsy King Fury. Canelo Alvarez coming off that loss and fighting a smaller man. He doesn't like Triple G anyway. That's going to work in Canelo Alvarez's favor. But let me know how you all think, what you're thinking in the comments about the size difference. Is really the difference from the second fight and this fight, and Canelo Alvarez finally looking close to eye against his opponent. Hasn't been that way in a while. And I know I brought up people being used to punching up like Tank Davis, and when he fought Isaac Cruz and he was shorter than him, you know, he's not used to punching down. But Canelo Alvarez this will be his third time fighting Triple G, right? He fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought Cotto. He's punched across Kirkland and stuff like that. But now he's 168 naturally now. You know, a natural 168 boxer. It's going to be a little bit different than two, just the size difference. And then you have the age. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. Showbiz adult. I'm about to head to the gym. Tomorrow we got Taco Tuesday. We can talk more about this, especially the face-off. Conor Ben and Chris Eubank Jr. I'm out.